Welcome back to the Birdhouse's Mock Draft Monday 29.0 on the Dynatyze YouTube channel. And tonight we have fellow Dynatyzer Josh Montaigne in the house.
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
What's up, Josh, man? Good to have you on, brother. I feel like we're always getting you in the mocks, and I'm like, we got to get my man in here, because we had some bets going in the chat. I want to do it with you in real life, and as well, not as real life, but this is as real as we're gonna get right now. So
for now, right?
I get to see your face when we get to talk shit to each other. At
this
least.
Ugly mug.
It's beautiful. And right below me, of course, is the fantasy nerd boy, Mike Lamoureux.
Is up, man. I'm having a bunch of content dropping on Dynatyze right now. So I got a bunch of stuff that I'm cooking up, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to do Mock Monday, and then I'm excited to drop a video tomorrow. And then we have Zane on Thursday, man. So we got a lot of stuff on deck right now on the channel. So if you guys aren't subbed, go on over there, sub to us. If you're watching us on Twitter, go to the YouTube, go to Dynatyze YouTube. Follow us, like us, do all that good stuff. It's much appreciated, man.
All right. Well, we are here. We're ready to roll with a 12-teamer. This is a redraft special, 1 QB for you all home league fanatics out there. We are going old school, and it's a 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide out, 1 tight end, 1 flex lineup here. Not what Nerd Boy and I are used to doing, but we're going to let it roll here tonight anyway, and we're ready to start. I am just going to fire it up. Here we go. We've got 2 bots starting it off. We're showing you how the bots work here on the Dynatyze draft board. So half of the picks are going to be made by the bots. I have the 103, so it's on me.
Honestly, it is nice, though. We went 2 hours last time we were on here. So This is actually going to let the viewers kind of see the board a little faster than we did last week. In 1 QB, I do love a hammer, but with Bijan, Gibbs, if you miss the boat, I don't feel good with like CMC right here, boys. And I think
I love the 105. I will take CMC.
I'm not going with CMC. I think I do like Taylor. You know what? Okay. I want to take James Cook here. I really do. But I'm still gonna go Amon-Ra St. Brown here because I think the consistent floor, I'm okay, and then I'm gonna just kind of fade out and then tap the second tier running backs, which I'm gonna get into tomorrow. If I can get a Chase Brown back on the other side, I'm okay. I don't know how. Actually, in 1 QB, he might go a little earlier than that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see. Chase Brown is a darling of ours, and I don't know. Yeah, it goes right at the 1-2 turn now. I guess the sharps would be on that if you want to say. But
what's his ADP on here saying?
Well,
Chase Brown on here is pretty far down, actually.
Looks like his ADP showing 16 as RB7. I think this is the Dynatyze consensus.
Yeah, we got to get more mocks in here.
At 1 QB, I bet people aren't doing a lot of mocks with this ADP. I think that it's probably a little funky right now.
Right.
So he is down, behind Saquon, Hampton, and then Chase Brown, just ahead of Derrick Henry and Kenneth Walker. So, I mean, depending on who you watch and listen to, Kenneth Walker is all over the place. Okay?
Yeah.
He is pumped up into the back end of the first round by some, and then all the way down to the end of the second by others.
Frankie's tapped in. He's listening, man, because we just had Chase Brown go.
He was all over his boy Genty with the healthy news to all Genty Dynasty and redraft owners, if you already had your redraft and drafted Ashton Genty, you were holding your breath last night with the news that Genty dove for a ball in practice and came up lame. Turns out that it was not the ACL, as those Raiders players' prayers were answered.
They certainly were.
They did a circle prayer and it worked.
Yeah.
So,
And see, are you still taking Genty in the first here though? I see Frank did obviously, but if he's going to miss some time with the sprained ankle, I mean, we're how many weeks from the season starting? A couple weeks?
Here's the thing. I was never really like in on Genty. Like I have Hampton ahead of Genty in my dynasty rankings. So I have him ahead of Genty in redraft as well.
Yeah.
I just don't love the Raiders offense, right? Like a redraft, I want a hammer that's going to get in the end zone. I don't want to just count on volume with my first and second round picks. I'll count on volume with a 5th, 6th, or 7th round running back, sure. But, it's the same. Like if I want volume, I'll take Achane.
And that's where I think I'm going to go here. I think I'm going to go with Achane in the 7 spot here coming back.
Yeah, I was low-key waiting for Achane to just slide. I think that they've been fading him a little bit,
Yeah, sure. That offense just doesn't look like it's going to be very good. I think I got to go with him here. But at this point, it's like that, and that was the other guy I was considering is, do I take Bowers here and hope that I can get like a Javonte in the middle of the 3rd, or do I hammer a receiver here? But I think Achane, the value there, the middle of the 2nd, I think is too good though.
Yeah, there's some good value there. I don't like this spot at all. I kind of regret missing on a running back at this point.
Yeah.
Look at this board. We got Henry, we got Barkley. There's a lot of running backs right here. I don't know. I kind of missed the boat. I'm looking at I kind of want to just see what happens here. I'm taking George Pickens. I'm going to stand on business right here.
Get that 0 RB going.
I guess so. I don't love it.
Mike, that's why at picks 3, 4, 5, I don't mind taking McCaffrey, because McCaffrey is the ultimate dice roll, right? He stays healthy this year, you're going to finish in the top 4 in your league, pretty much.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk there. I don't have the risk tolerance for that guy in the high 1st. I had the risk tolerance for him like in the 2nd. And McCaffrey's looking at me like 205. Sure, all day.
He never gets there though.
No, he won't get there, and that's why I don't own any McCaffrey, because I'm not taking him in the top 5 picks.
He's 30 years old. He's 30 years old. He had 450 touches last year, and he's practicing by that substation every day. I don't know how much you
say less.
You buy the substation.
If you just started with substation, everybody would be like, "Yep, there it is."
Ricky Pearsall was going to be my guy this year, and he was the first one it seemed like to get got by the substation. But
you know what, Ricky Pearsall has always been somebody I've kind of faded out. But I think that these older prospects coming out really scare me. I want to root for like Stribling and Cyrus Allen, and I want to say that they're going to be something. And they very well could be something. It's just they weren't very much of anything in college. They really weren't. We're talking about somebody that doesn't eclipse like 700, 800 yards in their college career. It's tough, but if a team believes in them, a team believes in them,
Yeah, if their skill set can fit into what they're trying to get done. I mean, with Pearsall, it seemed like the Niners' hope was to get him in motion pre-snap and kind of catch him on these dump routes. And I don't know. I think he had some real upside this year going into it. I was thinking he'd probably get to that 800-yard, maybe if he had a couple big games, touch 1,000. But it didn't turn out for him, unfortunately. But
now Pearsall, I mean, where is his dynasty? He's
I don't trust the 49ers with the high end wide receivers. They're turning into the Patriots in the sense that they don't know how to evaluate wide receiver. I mean, they took Pearsall with the 1st. They took Stribling was he a 2nd? I think he was a 2nd.
First pick.
He was the first pick of the 2nd round, 33rd overall. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially a first, like as
Yeah.
close as you can get to the first.
Yeah.
I think both massive reaches. So Stribling really has to work out for them to save face here and say, hey,
Yeah.
we're not like complete Patriots fold, like we're talking about. I don't know. They just traded Booty. Did you see that? They traded Booty today.
Yeah,
Chris?
Booty's with the Texans now, isn't it?
We just went on a pod Thursday and we talked for a half an hour on Keyshawn Booty being a dynasty buy. And I didn't know the quick turnaround. I thought it was going to be like the trade deadline, but no, that was like 4 days later.
We were talking last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, about George Pickens and him getting moved from Dallas.
He's going anywhere.
I think they might move him. I really do. I don't know that they're going to want to pay him, and I think they're going to want to get something out of him.
Well, if they can land a first, they'll do it. But I don't know if anybody's given them a first. They know that they're playing into Dallas's needs.
The thing about Pickens is you gotta trade and sign. So you have to give up draft capital, and you have to sign him to a long-term deal. Ideally, you have that locked in before the trade. Whoa.
Yeah.
I can still talk. I just can't hear you guys right now.
Well, I don't think George is getting traded. He'll stay there.
Maybe it's just the Ryan
Floyd, like 1-5.
Yeah,
2-4, and Jerry's getting desperate. I can't see it. Pickens has done everything that's been asked of him. You haven't heard a peep from his camp, which is just unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought he'd get traded to the Cowboys and wouldn't become a menace?
Yeah.
Right? So it's very shocking. All right, Josh, you're on the clock. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm seeing Stack Steve. This bot, the second to last one, has 3 running backs. That room looks remarkable.
Yes, that is.
I know. I think that he's putting the work in on me right now, boys. I think that this bot is truly putting me on tilt. I'm just taking.
Tell you what, I had a couple of
my guys right there
when I clicked Javonte Williams and then Josh Jacobs back to me.
Yeah,
I know it's tough, and I'm looking back, and the next best running back I see is maybe Keyshawn, but
that's why I
don't know if I can even do it. I think that I want to take Ladd McConkey right here. Honestly, get on the pod with Matt Waldman got me all the way back on Ladd McConkey. I am holy. Listen to him talk about Ladd McConkey was you know what I mean? I want to run through a wall.
Yeah.
I don't want to draft Ladd McConkey. I was you got me. Because I was a big Ladd guy, but I pretty much after last year was kind of
kind of off the ship.
Value kind of exceeded expectation type deal.
Yeah.
So where are you guys at for quarterbacks in a 1 QB 12-teamer? Because Josh Allen went at the 304, which seems to be about the sweet spot for him to go. But after that, then is when it gets interesting. When are you comfortable taking Lamar Jackson or whoever you have as your QB?
I don't think I do. Honestly, I don't think I do take a quarterback until probably the 7th, 8th round. And that's not because I don't value a top end quarterback. It's just I'd rather just hammer the positional players. And I think that the difference between a Jared Goff and a Lamar Jackson is ancillary when you're talking about getting a wide receiver 1 or a running back 1 instead. And obviously I haven't been touching the running back ones, but there's still too much.
Well, in your running back depth, I mean, if you hammer running back the next few rounds, you're looking at a guy like David Montgomery, who's going to get all the touches in Houston. You've got a Ramondre Stevenson. I saw a report just before we hopped on, probably 7:30, that was saying the TreVeyon Henderson has gotten 4 of the 64 snaps that the first team has been in during the preseason. He can't pass block still. He's having a hard time hitting holes. It's going to be interesting. I think Travion's going to be one of the most overdrafted guys. I think he's going to be one of the biggest disappointments.
Well, then he pulled up lame
Yeah.
in practice today. So
Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to get my guy here.
oh, there Travion went right in between you two guys.
The bot, though, I mean, he doesn't know what he's doing. Chad, cut it out, Chad.
Bowers in the second.
you guys-
he started off 2 wideouts.
If you guys are doing a mock on here, it is definitely a little more fun and a little more exciting than like a sleeper mock when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Because these bots, you can set them to be like hyper targeting quarterbacks, hyper targeting rookies. You can make them an anchor where they're like balanced, and you can really just change up the bots to like draft varied and differently. So it's definitely different. They are killing the running backs for me though. Like,
Yeah.
For sure. And then they still were able to leave on the quarterback cliff, the running back cliff. I don't know if you see that, Josh,
Yeah.
up on top. That's very nice. Very
It helps to see, where those guys. So like here, it says I've got what, 2 wide receivers, Egbuka and Williams. It says there's 1 wide receiver, 2 left,
which is Marvin Harrison. Which
there's a reason he's the last one left.
Yeah, I mean, is Marv much difference than Brian Thomas? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I was hoping that I was going to see Christian Watson fall to.
He's gone too.
I know. Yeah, he's the second pick this round, and
oh yeah, there he is. Yeah,
I think you both of you guys are very high on Christian Watson. I'm not there. I'm not with you guys at all. Honestly.
What is it? What do you have against Christian Watson? What's got you off on him?
I think that he's a speed guy and he's reliant on speed, and those guys always scare me in general when it comes to at least absolute value. I think that if you are missing that first step a little bit and more reliant on, like a Jameson Williams, like there's going to be a boom bust factor there. I do like him, and I do. I mean, I'm not going to say that the injury stuff doesn't scare me a little bit too. I mean, I know that we're talking about somebody that has come back and looked really good. But through he's been in the year for what? This is his fourth year.
Maybe it's fifth.
I was going to say, I think it might be his 5th. He's 27. I think he came out of NDSU as a 22-year-old.
So I mean, it's just more about being in the league for 5 years and kind of being in and out consistently, not being on the field. That's one of the other factors that come into looking at him as a player. But
one of the first articles I ever posted on Dynatyze was a player profile on Watson, and I'm a Packers fan, so call me a homer if you want. But with Watson, he missed those first 3 years of his career due to hamstring issues, and it was 2023 after the last one that he dealt with. So it's been 3 years since he's dealt with that hamstring issue. They sent him to UW-Madison, and they put him through all these tests trying to figure out where the issue was. And it turned out he had a 20% muscle imbalance in his hamstrings. So he's running a 4.3 40 at 6'4". He's as big as Megatron, running just as fast, and it's got a hamstring that's 20% weaker than the other one. And so that caused a lot of those hamstring issues. So since 2023, he's strengthened that other hamstring. He's gotten back to normal. And then the last injury he had at the end of 2024 was that ACL. And we see guys come back from ACLs all the time. Cooper Kupp came back and had the best season of his career. You had Adrian Peterson come back, put up 2,000 rushing yards. Tom Brady came back after that ACL tear and played till he was 42. So I'm not scared off of Watson. I think Watson's upside is in this Packers offense. I think they're going to try to pass the ball a lot more. I'm all in on Christian Watson. I think he could.
Honestly, I think Chris is all in on him too. Honestly,
I am. I mean, I've been taking him. I don't know that it's because I think they're going to pass the ball anymore. I just think that the targets got consolidated more down because of Dobbs and Wicks leaving, and really nobody being added. So it's just Watson, Reed, and Golden along with Kraft. Golden's the fourth option. I mean, I'm totally out on him because just the fourth option in a low volume pass attack is just not something I want to waste my time with. But for Watson's sake, last year, he basically, the only games he missed were from that ACL injury. Like after he came back, he was pretty healthy. And if you watch any of the Packers games, like Watson is the first read from Love. Tucker Kraft gets all the dump offs and then he just creates all those yards on his own. Yeah. He's not really out there running routes at all. I
don't mean to cut you off, but I just took 7th round Jonathan Brooks right now. How do we feel about that?
That is a little bold. But at the same time, what running
at the same time
out there?
No, I'm looking at it, and Tony Pollard just went. So I said, this is the time to shine right here, baby. You know, like
right. We're already deep for the ceiling there. You went over Dobbins. I mean, Brooks has a higher ceiling than Dobbins. I guess
we're deep into Tony Pollard territory. I think it's time for Jonathan Brooks to get off the board.
Fair enough. I wouldn't take Brooks over Stevenson. I wouldn't take him over Price. I think it's in that Pollard range that he needs to go. He's still going to be splitting time with Hubbard to start the season. If Hubbard comes back, I know there was an injury question with Hubbard recently. I think he'll probably be fine by week 1 or week 2. They're going to get him some touches, but
I think it fits your build.
I agree with you.
Stacked up wide receivers.
Well,
first 4 picks.
I think that, I'm okay. I think I can still get like one of those guys on the back end right here. You know, we're talking about a Stevenson as long as Josh does not take him right here, or like you're right. I mean, even
Stevenson,
even a
Stevenson
Price
was taken. Yeah.
Oh, so he wasn't even looking at it. I couldn't even have taken him at that point.
Right.
Rashad White.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the order it should go in. I don't know that Warren needs to be up there, but I think seeing Stevenson and Price, I think Price has huge upside, but Pollard, Brooks, Dowdle, he's got to be in that range.
Yeah, I mean now it's just getting into the murky murk. We just saw Hubbard go right here. I mean the running back. Are we in? Where are we at in Washington? I'll ask you first. I know where Chris is, but where do you stand on Washington's backfield? Are you a Bill guy, or are you more of a Rashad White guy? Because that's these ambiguous backfields are where I see the value right now.
Yeah, I think if you look at last year, I think Bill had 800 rushing yards last year, didn't he? Something like that. It was around or over 800 rushing yards last year. And from a rookie that was a 7th, 5th round draft pick, something like that, he was taken late. And I think if they're going to trust him more with the ball this year, they're going to, and obviously with the loss of Tunsil at left tackle, they're going to have issues. But I think with an improved offense, they're going to have Diggs and McLaurin stretching the field. Last year, Daniels was out. They were looking to run the ball a lot more. I think them being able to stretch the field with Daniels and McLaurin and Diggs and Chig, they'll use Rashad White as their passing down back, as everybody knows. But I think with Krosky Merritt, with Bill, I like him. I almost took him here. If I hadn't started with 3, what was it? I started 3 running backs in 4 rounds. If I hadn't taken probably ETN there and went with another receiver in the 4th, I'd probably had been looking at Bill. I like Bill.
Yeah. So you're not worried about like Katron Allen coming in as a a guy. I mean, that's work in. I think he might work in with him a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be like, I think that Bill's still got that backfield as far as carries go to open the season at least, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to start with Bill heavily, I think, and then they might work Katron Allen in if Bill's not who they're looking for, if he's just not providing that stuff that they want, But no, I think it's his job to lose. And obviously it's a pretty short leash. He's a late round pick, but no, I think he's got a good chance of being a legitimate running back that people can depend on for a number of weeks this year.
Yeah, I mean this team in general is going to squeeze the juice out. They're like the 2018 Cowboys.
Yeah,
they're not taking anybody in the backfield. They're going to just squeeze out like whatever they're like, all right, whatever you can give us, Zeke, like we'll just take
Yeah.
whatever you got, and then we'll take a Pollard and hope
Yeah.
you can kind of piece it. And and then when Pollard's looking for a bag, they say, whatever, we'll go to the next guy. And
Yeah.
That's where I
And
see
then they get
Rashad
Javonte, and
White
he's
is-
good. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
got Rashad White's ugliness written all over it. Like just
You know,
he's going to get the snaps on the passing downs. He will get some early down looks as well. So I just feel like Rashad White's going to outsnap Bill, and that's where the points go towards Rashad White in that regard. And then they're going to want to play Fat Man at some point. Get Katron Allen in there, get him a couple of.
When
looks.
did they take Katron Allen? What round was he picked in? Was
Not until the
late?
fifth, I think he was a 5th rounder.
I think it was-
I mean, any running back last year didn't have any DC.
Yeah.
Kalen Black got the best DC of all the running backs of the class. I think.
Look at Mike Washington; he looks great in preseason. He was taken in the 5th. So
Jonah Coleman looks fantastic. These guys.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
it
lot
doesn't
of these
matter what
running
round
backs.
those guys were going.
It was the market, honestly. The way that
Yeah.
the draft dictated itself, you didn't have to take a running back early. You could have waited and still got anybody. And I don't love that. But now the process of evaluating talent, we saw it even the year before. Like obviously the top guys go, but like then everybody you saw as like a higher end, like RB3, 4, whatever, you were like the Dylan Sampsons and everybody. You're like, all right, like I really saw more for that draft class as well.
Yeah.
So where are you guys at here? Frankie, he grabbed Genty in the 1st, and then Mike Washington in right at the 8-9 turn.
I mean, I'm more
7,
on
8
the Casey Concepcion pick right there because that's big value. You got guys like that's
you gotta remember
great,
it's redraft though.
Yeah, I know, but like even then, he's still going to be probably the wide receiver 1 right off the bat. I'm not really worried about Judy, and I know Boston's there, but Boston's more of a big X. I think that you're looking at somebody, especially with Watson now, that I don't know if he's got accuracy. I haven't really seen Watson play football in about 6 years.
Yeah. It was good 6 years ago.
He was electric. So I remember, and I always talk about this as like my first Dynasty league that I was really taken seriously. I was in a bunch of them, but like when I got into really into it, I think it was 2020, and I got the Watson, Will Fuller stack.
Okay.
Yeah.
My God. In 2020, was that the best stack ever, dude?
Yeah.
Fuller, I think, had 2 touchdowns Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
And I was wine drunk, and I was like, this is the stack that's going to win me every dynasty for the next 5 years. Both of them gone, dead.
Yeah.
The dynasty the next year, just dead.
Yeah.
The stack was like 100 to 0 so fast.
They were electrical on the field though. And it was
Hell
incredible.
Yeah. It was.
I remember playing against the game he scored however many, maybe it was 2 or 3
seconds on either
touchdowns.
play.
I'm on draft. Oh shoot! All right, I'm gonna stop talking about Watson and Will Fuller.
The glory days are gone.
I know it's got me all mixed up right now. What kind of
Will
running
Fuller
back
was a
guys
fun guy to own,
Yeah.
except when he got hurt, which was every other week.
I'm
What are you
gonna
guys
take-
making of Najee Harris going to the Giants?
I talked about him last week on the training camp battles. I felt like, it was Tyron Tracy that he's going to hurt the most.
Yeah.
Because if Scatabo goes down, now Tracy is not going to get anywhere near, the 1,000-yard production that he had last. I heard rumors today that Tracy might not even make the 53-man roster now.
Oh, don't
Because
believe
Devin
it.
Singletary is actually the special teams guy.
Yeah.
And so if they want Najee instead of Tracy, it's possible.
I don't see that, but I mean,
Tracy's a good back.
I still think Najee clears Tracy as far as production goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really like how
You'd rather have Najee? You'd rather be starting Najee if you're the Giants than Tracy if you're trying to get If you're trying to move the ball,
Think about if Scadaboo goes
Well,
down.
I mean,
Who's the
if
better
you're looking,
first and
if
second
you're
down
looking
Brian?
at the fact that he is consistent, I think you're looking at somebody that at least I know that he's not efficient by
right?
any means, but ultimately, when I'm looking at somebody that does things the right way all around the
Yeah,
field, he is
he's
100
the
times
guy.
better in pass protection. I think that he's somebody that gives you a better chance with Dart. And that's who they want to protect, obviously. So I think that in fantasy, I'm not taking Najee over Tracy at this point. But in a real life NFL situation, I think it makes sense, dude. I really do. You know?
So the other question there is what other options do they have besides Najee?
Well, Devin Singletary's still there.
Well, but what other guys are out there? Like, and obviously Nick Chubb's just retired.
Out there.
You've got Mixon, who is. Did he retire officially, or is he
Mixon
saying
and
he's still?
Chubb are pretty much done.
Yeah, but then you have a guy like Trey Benson. Trey Benson got waived today.
Yeah.
So does he become an option? I don't know.
I
I don't know. I mean, what's going on though? I mean, I think Scadaboo still has the role of like 60-70% guy, right?
Yeah. He has to. They don't trust Tracy. They're not going to want to run the ball consistently with Najee. They're not going to put Singletary out there. He's their special teamer. I mean, I think Cam could see 80% of snaps.
Yeah, he could be a big value, but we also have to worry about,
That
the
injury.
way he plays.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, it's just his mannerisms, the way that his mental makeup is. I don't think he understands that he has a major role on this team that he has to preserve. Obviously, the injury last year wasn't in his control. And most injuries are not in your control, but you have to be careful about running helmet first. And that's what Cam Scadaboo does. He just runs.
And that's not the injury that kept him out, though. It was the ankle. It's
not. But then I'm like, I am nervous about him not necessarily understanding his role and how important it is. I think that a lot of running backs do understand. Like when you watch a Saquon, he runs violently and hard. And you can run violently and hard and still smart. There's a way to like use your body and to manipulate defenders and take advantage of holes without putting yourself at risk. And I don't think Cam just understands that or cares, honestly. I just think he doesn't give a shit.
Well, it's like there's a time for everything, There's a time for lowering your head and driving through like that. The highlight from the first game, he ran through 3 guys to get 2 extra yards. But it's like, is all of that contact worth 2 yards, or can you pick up those 2 yards on the next play and 6 more? I don't know.
Or, you know what I mean? Instead of diving in that range where he dives, I think that what I used to teach and what I learned is using your body control to leverage them. You know what I mean? If you go you're at ped level, you go slightly under 2 inches up.
Yeah.
You're already going to get that 2 yards just by manipulating that defender to go over you instead of under you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like using your leverage is just an intelligence game. And I don't think he has that. I don't think he understands how to use his body the right way.
All right. It's on you, nerd boy.
And top stocking.
I've gone twice in a row.
I'm really just like hammering home. I think I still believe in, I don't know. Like, do we want a Braylon Allen at this range? I think I want to take a Chig right now.
Yeah.
And I think that like you're in this range where a Denzel Boston looks good. I can't believe that Shaheed's going over Denzel Boston. I mean, Woody Marks is going over Denzel. I like the Coleman pick. Frankie's taking all the rookies, but like the good rookies at least,
Yes. No,
he took Shuck over Dart. He took Shuck over Dak. He took Shuck over Mahomes.
This is actually how he does it, though. Honestly,
he's
taking Shuck. Even in Dynasty, he's taking Shuck. I don't know if you would take Shuck over Dart. Frankie, you're in the chat. Would you take Shuck over Dart in Dynasty? I want to see it. He's gonna answer right away. My man has been all over the chat. Look at this guy. Bang, 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 bang.
Collis.
Yes, he says. He says
Oh.
yes.
Of course.
Shuck over Dart. You know what?
Shuck over Dart is bold.
I think in Dynasty, you got to take Dart and then trade him for Shuck
For
plus,
Shuck.
right?
I'll take Shuck plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Shuck plus, and yeah. But the value there, I think he could have gotten a Shuck a lot later. And it seems like Dynatyze is feeling the same way about a lot of these guys. That down arrow next to the position is just saying, like, I don't know. I mean, he's got his methods, obviously, but
I'm looking pretty deep on here right now. It's like, when does a guy like Cyrus Allen go? You know,
see, I don't know if Cyrus Allen's going in the redraft.
Right now, I just took him. Ah, yeah.
Is Cyrus Allen really an option in redraft like this? I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to be.
I
don't
don't see why.
Quarterback on the board, though.
If DeJean Stribling is,
I don't know.
See why not Cyrus Allen.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel fine about that. I think that if you're gonna just chuck it at this point,
if you want one dart throw on a wide receiver,
good value.
These are the guys who you're willing to just drop when Trey Benson gets picked up by who knows who. Yeah,
right. Like, I'd rather have
Trey
Cyrus Allen than Adonai Mitchell, right?
I mean, what if Trey Benson goes to a Washington right now?
I think he's splitting time with Bill. I think they spent those draft picks and they're going to want to say, we want to see what we have with these guys. Not that they're going to keep them long term, but if they can have a committee of guys, I don't know that they're going to want to spend on a Trey Benson.
The Raiders or the
that was kind of my thought with Mike Washington playing as well as he has. I think they're going to be all right without him.
They might be, but
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
What else do they have?
I think Brian Robinson is such a easy tap at the back end. If you're going to go all the way back, nobody wants a Brian Robinson anymore. Nobody even cares. But we're talking about an open backfield where essentially if Bijan goes down, Brian Robinson becomes like, yeah, he does actually. He's a Tyrone Tracy of last year, honestly.
Yeah, he owns it. Bijan goes down early. B-Rob is getting 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Total,
same with Pacheco. Pacheco's not going to get 1,000 yards, but I mean, Pacheco's going to have a major role if Gibbs goes down.
And,
sure.
And they're already like they're so cheap in redraft. They're going in the 14th round.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson just went by who? Was that you? Holy shit!
That was Chad.
The bot is listening.
The bots are watching, dude. The bots are watching the stream.
Oh, jeez. No, I think Benson, the Packers were talking about with the Jacobs issues, they've got Marshawn Lloyd as their number 2. I think there were discussions that James Conner was going to get moved to Green Bay, and then maybe it was just fans, but I don't know. I think they need more depth. They don't have a ton of receiver depth outside of their 3, which not a lot of teams do. But Savion Williams, their 4th, is another guy who could play. He can play snaps at running back. But besides Josh Jacobs, Marshawn Lloyd hasn't. I mean, he's been really injury prone. He's been all right when he's seen the field. But if they can get another prospect in there, I wouldn't be surprised to see them claim him on waivers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I was thinking Green Bay too. I don't know if, I mean, even when we're talking about Josh Jacobs as a player, you take away all of the extra stuff and just talk about him. He's regressed significantly as far as production, efficiency, all that good stuff, all of the ancillary, like outside numbers that people don't always look at. He's been more of a Najee, like a volume guy, he hasn't been producing. I think this guy's going to become a big-time redraft value, Kayshon Boutte. Right now, he's going to be the wide receiver 2 for a team that's going to be really hungry to, like, prove people wrong and make the playoffs this year, And he's still going to be, like, treated ADP-wise like the wide receiver 4 of the Patriots still,
Yeah.
If you guys are doing redrafts right now and you got a draft coming up, put Kayshon Boutte in the queue and take him 3 rounds before his ADP. Because right now his redraft ADP is round 18. Go take him in the 14th, 13th, whatever. Take him before your league mates. It kind of kills the Noel hype, though.
Yeah,
it does.
Definitely.
I
wouldn't be surprised to see Noel outplay Booty, though.
Maybe a different guy. I think that this kills Tank Dell. Booty is more of more of an outside X guy. He is more of a I'm gonna get a contest. He's the Jaden Higgins right now, so he's gonna fill that role, I think, pretty nicely. I think there's still room for the slot guy. I think Jalen Noel and Tank Dell go at it. I think Noel clears him pretty easily, honestly.
Yeah, really. I mean, it just helps CJ Stroud just get a body in there that's got talent to make up for the loss of Higgins. I mean, talent-wise, Higgins to Booty they're different types of receivers, don't get me wrong, but overall, talent-wise, it's not that much of a difference. I was kind of in on Higgins, but I wasn't head over heels.
There's a reason Higgins wasn't going until the 157th rank, 150 wide receiver 52. Yeah.
Maybe if he was on a different team with a different quarterback, we'd be thinking differently of him. But
what's your take on one QB? Do you guys take two quarterbacks in a one quarterback league anytime?
I go one quarterback and just stream.
Generally, I'll go one. Here, I was at the Coker had gone right before. I would have taken him, but Mahomes and Lawrence. If one of those guys goes down, it always helps have another guy. And in your home leagues, you're going to have an issue where you're going to have a run of quarterbacks go in the fourth, fifth, sixth round. You're going to have six guys get taken, and it's going to be like, okay, I'm left with the scraps of, and not that they're scraps, but like Justin Herbert. You're going to have Trevor Lawrence in there, but it's just going to be this mixed bag. I like to take a couple guys where if I can use one as trade bait for somebody who has an injury, you get something out of it at least.
I just feel like I'm pretty comfortable with about, after Josh Allen, I'm pretty comfortable with about 12 different guys.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm starting Purdy or if I'm starting Herbert, starting Mahomes, I'm starting Joe
why
Burrow,
did I get Dolchich, by the way? I mean, I don't mind that pick, honestly, but I didn't pick that guy.
I only took Burrow early because I had Chase. So
yeah, that stack's going to be incredible.
I took him in the 5th, which it's kind of why I asked you guys where you were comfortable with, because I did take him even ahead of Lamar Jackson, I believe. Yeah, I took him ahead of Lamar, but
I love that it tells me that my bye weeks are lined up. Right away, it tells me both your running backs sit out week 11.
We're gonna go
both of them
here,
and it's that's fine. I don't mind having a backfield of Blake Corum and Chris Rodriguez. Dynatyze, don't worry.
Let's see this full recap. That one ran pretty smooth. I got a solid F. I feel really good about my squad now.
We still have to work on the grading system because everyone's team is ass. It's turning into the ESPN grade system.
I got an A+. I got an A on this one, a 91.
Well, that means you're going to lose. You're going to lose all your games, brother. And I hate to break it to you.
But look at this squad. I've got Jonathan Taylor and Achane. I've got Egbuka, Williams, and Marvis and Harrison aren't great, but I've got Addison. I think Addison. I wrote an article on a bunch of sleepers. I think it was 12 sleepers, maybe 13 sleepers. And every year that Addison hasn't had JJ McCarthy as his quarterback, he's been a top 24 wide receiver. So Frankie, he can jump back up there again.
Frankie, your grade is a 22 out of 100. It's the lowest grade you can get.
I still beat Frankie.
No, you didn't.
You got a squad, guys.
You got a 25 out of 100. So you actually beat Frankie out.
I did what has been suggested out there, and that's make sure I grab 2 running backs on my first 3 picks. Now I grabbed Chase in the first, which is what made that difficult. And rather than grab Malik Neighbors, I went Javonte and Jacobs. I passed on Neighbors twice. So,
but Waddle is a great second wide receiver.
That's what I mean. There's good wide receivers in rounds 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
I maybe reached a little on Johnston, but only really a round or 2. And I'm big on Johnston opposed to Ladd. I think they're both going to finish similar. at the end of the year. I think Ladd's a better all-around wide receiver. I just think that stats-wise, it ends up pretty close.
Yeah,
So,
Johnston's speedy, and McDaniel likes to use those fast guys to get him open
I think that
in breaking routes.
Don't get Chris started on Johnston, man. Don't
all
get
right,
him.
all right.
I just took him.
Chris and I seem to be cut from the same cloth. We're Johnston fans. We're Christian Watson fans.
Yep. You guys shouldn't start a podcast, man.
Yeah, right.
You would just be
you stroke each other's egos all day.
I'm saying you guys are like, yeah, I like that guy. You like that guy? Yeah, I like that guy. You
like
that
guy's
guy?
great.
That guy. Yeah, that guy's good. I like him. Yeah,
well,
you like him.
My
like
signature pick was Romeo Dobbs. That's all that needs to be said about my squad, I think.
Hey, you know what? Romeo Dobbs is going to surprise a lot of people this year.
That's why I grabbed him. He's a perfect guy.
They let go of Kayshon Boutte for a reason. It's not because of Kyle Williams either. I promise you.
Yeah.
All right, how do I get to let me see. I want to see the other guys' teams here.
I don't know if
keep scrolling down.
You can go down, but I don't know if you can click
there we
on
go.
You go all the way down.
Okay.
You might not be able to click on them now. So but you can definitely notes, Frankie, save picks. I don't even know. It saves random picks. Reach risk. Bijan keeps the air raid build moving. Huh.
Oh wow. This is some fun analysis here.
Sometimes I scroll through this and it's just I have a hard time reading it and understanding what all of it means, you know.
I can replay the draft.
Yeah.
It is really
go back and swap out.
When you get a bad grade, you can go into every chart and see how shitty your team is. You know what I mean? Like you can
here we go. Here's the team grades. Okay. Here we go.
I'll be here next week, boys. Right up at the top for you.
Josh hits it big.
Well, whatever.
You know, I think it really likes Patrick Mahomes there on my bench. I think it likes Hawkinson.
Yes.
But
does help for sure.
What do you guys? Let's just get into it. You know, we can't look at the board right now, so let's just talk a little bit. You know, who is per position like a guy that you absolutely need to get after the first couple rounds? Like, where do you go, Josh, in a redraft where you're saying, you know, take out the Green Bay players? I know that you love the Green Bay players. I don't want to hear about them. Who is it that maybe people aren't valuing as much as the consensus, and who do you have to grab in your builds?
If I'm looking at receiver, I think it would probably say that I reached for Egbuka. Egbuka
at 31.
Yeah, I think I reached for him. I think he's wide receiver 21.
Well, he's falling now because of the toe injury. So
yeah,
that's about where he was, maybe.
Yeah.
At his hype, he was probably ahead of Devonta Smith and Olave, but Olave and him are going in opposite directions now, right?
Yeah. I like Egbuka. He's one of those guys who comes out of Ohio State and just the bar is so high. Brian Hartline does such a great job of coaching those guys up at Ohio State, and it's just it's unbelievable the amount of receivers that we've seen come out of Ohio State and just produce. Another guy is Parker Washington. Obviously, everyone's talking about Parker Washington. He's this offseason sweetheart, but
yeah. So how high are you willing to go on Parker Washington now? Because he's been steamed up.
Yeah.
I mean, in high stakes leagues, he's going in like rounds 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Most home leagues, though, you're going to see round 6 or 7.
Yeah, and that's about
totally fine taking him there.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to. I think if you have guys who are in the know, if you're drafting with your home league and your buddies are talking to you about Parker Washington and you're set on getting him, you're going to have to reach for him in probably the 5th or the 6th.
Yeah,
but that it opens the door for Brian Thomas, though. If Brian Thomas produces like he did his rookie year, I mean, the upside for him is fantastic. The second half of that rookie season was great. And obviously a lot of that was with Mac Jones and early, I think it was OTAs. It seemed like Thomas and Lawrence were really on the same page, but I drafted Thomas 2 years ago. I drafted with my buddies and I got Brian Thomas and I got Bucky Irving. And it was great. It was luxury. And I didn't get him the next year, and I was upset about it. And they tanked, obviously. But no, I think they can. I think Brian Thomas and Bucky can both regain. If they can regain some of that magic they had their rookie years, I think they'll be some of the better steals this year. This draft.
Yeah, I think that there is always going to be those guys that like overproduce. Like even like Malik Neighbors was never viewed as whole. Like I had him as my wide receiver too, but like realistically, the expectations for him on a Giants team, like nil. You know, like I nobody really thought that, you know, they were gonna just all of a sudden explode and, you know, have this out of world top 5 dynasty production wise and looking at him as a first rounder. And Brian Thomas was sniffing first round that past year too at that point. And, you know, there's always going to be these guys that overproduce and then they recorrect themselves within the whole system. And they just say, all right, we're talking about the quarterback difference, the production, everything doesn't match up year to year, obviously. Chris, do you have anybody that you think is going to miss expectations this year as far as players that are valued way higher than they should be?
Well, I would have said Genty, but now it's too easy of a choice. I'm also kind of in for redraft. Jeremiah Love really scares me. Okay, right now, and it's not just because the Cardinals were idiots. Okay, and played him so much in that first preseason game. It's just that I don't know that the offense is going to get that many red zone looks. And then even when they do, I really think that Algier is going to get more work than people want. Okay, so that's one high-end pick that I'm very leery of. If you move down the board, you know, Ted McMillan's another body that, and I know I mentioned this, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, but McMillan along with Garrett Wilson are 2 wide receivers that I'm just not loving right now. There's other receivers in that range, like Devonta Smith, like Olave, that I just see, I don't know, a higher ceiling, a higher touchdown potential, because I think that the offensive environment is just better. And that's what I tend to lean towards when I'm trying to break ties, right? Which team has a better offensive environment? And so the Jets and Panthers, you know, I go somewhere else. Same with Breece Hall. Like Breece Hall is in there, and talent-wise, he's a great player. It's just,
well, and they keep talking about those other running backs. They keep talking about Isaiah Davis and what's the other guy's name?
Not even Braylon Allen, really, for me. It's
I mean, at this point, Braylon Allen to me is like, I'm not going to say equivalent to Breece Hall, but I think when you're looking at the next Quadzilla, Braylon Allen's right there, and he does move the pile, and he understands like how to work in short yardage. I do think that he's going to get a lot more work than people are anticipating, just because he did see the field a little more than people wanted to, and he got injured last year. But the shift was, I mean, Breece Hall, I know that he got locked up, but like, I don't think that he's a true workhorse like people anticipated him being. You know, they were like, this guy, he's not going to be that guy. He's going to still be valuable, but he's not going to be a 25 carry kind of guy. I think that he's going to get worked in a lot, and it's going to be like more of a 15 carry type of workload. And I think that it's going to be tough sledding for a team that probably won't see the end zone or the red zone for that matter consistently.
He can be that guy though. I think he can be one of those guys who can sit there and take 25 carries in a game. I mean, last year there were rumors swirling that he was going to move to the Chiefs before the deadline. And that was like, man, the sky's the limit for Breece Hall. And so I think if Breece gets moved, which I don't suspect him getting moved anytime soon at least, but if he had a better situation, and maybe it's quarterback, maybe it's coaching, maybe it's both, I don't know. But with Breece, it feels like he has the talent to do it.
Like he's not on a team where he's going to get a lot of fourth quarter carries. It's just, no, I mean, maybe there's certain weeks where he gets a bunch of catches in the fourth quarter. Sure, that happens. But when you're combining low amount of fourth quarter carries with low touchdown totals, that just screams.
You really need the Jets to be in close games for Breece Hall to have value that matches his ADP. You need the Jets to be within one score games or be in the lead in the fourth quarter, which are we going to see a lot of that? I don't think so, man.
With Frank Reich as OC and Aaron Glenn, I don't think Geno's lost everything that he had in Seattle. I think last year what we saw in Oakland was really bad due to Chip Kelly and they were calling plays that weren't in the playbook last year.
Yeah,
you can't expect your quarterback to play well if he doesn't know the plays you're calling, first of all. But I think Geno has seen enough time on the pine where he's like, okay, I know what it takes to be a good quarterback, and he showed that he could do it in Seattle.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on Geno not being completely washed. I think I have a lot of my content has kind of catered to Geno being a value in Superflex just for a year. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to take him as your QB3, he's free. I traded a 29 third for him the other day.
Yeah.
Well, he should be throwing it a lot. So I don't disagree with that.
If you got Garrett Wilson and Sadiq and then Omar Cooper sprinkled in there with Adonai Mitchell, that's an offense. And I've said this a million times. I think offensively, player-wise, it's better than like 70% of NFL teams. Realistically, when you have the backfield, the Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and then you have those three guys catching passes, and then your wide receiver 3-4 is Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah,
I love that team, dude. Let's
you seem pretty high on Sadiq then, no?
I like Sadiq as a weapon because I think that he's so versatile in the sense that you can line him up anywhere on the field. I think that there's going to be a learning curve, and I think that he's going to have trouble blocking. But I think that that's just the normal learning curve of a new tight end. If he can get past the yips and like the little hiccups that happen, I think that he's going to be a big-time weapon for them offensively, but he might not get the snap share that you want for a player that needs to be like a top-end tight end year one. I think that he's going to be like in with Mason Taylor's not going away. Boys and girls, I think Mason Taylor's one of the best blocking rookie tight ends that came into the league. He's big. He knows how to block. They're going to have to run 2 tight end sets for Sadiq to have a full snap share. I think there's going to be mixing and matching. I think Sadiq's going to get a lot of offensive, but I think it's more of like 4 catches for 50 yards, 3 catches for 40 yards, 5 catches for 60 yard type of.
In tight end premium though, that's a huge game.
Oh yeah, if he gets tight, he's a big weapon in the end zone. So if you mix in 50, 60 yards with like a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, like if he has multi-touchdown games, that puts him as a top 8 tight end. You don't have to do a lot. It's so linear for tight end where it's like there is obviously Brock Bowers and you got, Trey McBride and maybe throw Loveland in there.
Yeah.
But like you needed to get 800 yards in 8 touchdowns to be a top 8 touchdown or a tight end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The bar's not high.
You don't have to be 1,000-yard guy to be a top 8 tight end. You can have 700 yards and 8 touchdowns and be tight end 6, but let's answer a couple questions. If you guys have questions, let's end the pod. Drop all the questions you want in the chat. Let's just cook on these real quick before we get out of here. We got Jefferson or McMillan in the 27 first. Where are we at with that?
If I got to make a call on it right now, and let's say it's just a mid 27 first, I'm gonna take the risk and take Jefferson on the bounce back.
Yeah, and if it's early, I think you take the early 27.
Early, I could be swayed to McMillan's side, but if it's just a random 27 first, I'm gonna go Jefferson. Still, to me, just he has that top 5 potential with Kyler slinging it around there. I just don't see it for Tet McMillan with Bryce Young. Like Tet McMillan, if he finishes top 20, I'd be happy this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if you're competing, I think you're looking for Jefferson. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you guys. I think that's unless that 27 first ends up being a top 3 pick, I think that you could get enough production on McMillan to say, hey, like, let's go, and this is going to actually help me a little bit on the team side. But Jefferson's going to get he's already commenting. He commented today, actually, saying, people don't think I'm a top wide receiver anymore. I think that he's already creating a narrative for himself. That's like, I am already putting
4 at best. Morristein says it could be 4.
I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah,
tough. Because then you're making a bet against Jefferson, right? Bouncing back.
Like you're talking about 104 in the draft, right? Is that what I'm reading?
Sounds like it.
That's honestly, I'm thinking McMillan's side, honestly, because you are in a super flex league looking at, you know what I mean, like a Cam Coleman.
That's going to be a nice pick.
We're painting the picture here. You're going to get a Lacey, a Coleman, a Jaden Baugh. You're going to get a wide receiver 1, running back 1 in this range, probably.
So sorry, go ahead.
And it's a fluid asset too. Like he could use that to get something else. We don't even have to talk about what
league is this, dude? What league are we talking? This is one of my leagues. So what league are we in?
Leagues.
Yeah. What league is this? Because I got to know the whole breakdown right now.
Probably sending you the offer right now.
I don't think I have JJ in any of his leagues. I don't think I have McMillan in any of his leagues. So
if it's a 4th at best, and you're giving him Jefferson, or he's retaining Jefferson, if he's, I don't know, that 4th round pick, you're adding Jefferson to that team. I feel like if 4 is the limit, you're thinking Kyler is going to have a bad year with the Vikings, and I don't see that. So if it's 4 at best, I think you're looking more at like a 6, maybe an 8, a 5, somewhere in there. I'll take Jefferson. I'll take Jefferson there. You've got more years out of Jefferson. They're gonna get. I think they'll like Kyler. If they don't like Kyler, they'll bring in a guy like Mac Jones or something like that to bridge the gap until they draft a guy. I don't know. I like Jefferson there.
Huh. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that Jefferson gives you that opportunity to win some money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
No, but if you're in a spot where, if your pick is going to be top 4, you don't need Jefferson. You need a lot more. I promise you. I don't know the context fully of this, but this guy wants us to rate his team over here. Hard to know without knowing the settings. It looks like a redraft.
Yeah, you got to give the settings, but I guess he's got kickers.
The running back room is nice. I like the running back room a lot. JT, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker.
Putting Chase Brown and Walker in your flex feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about the wide receiver room. Sam Laporta does give me a little scared, honestly, if your tight end 1 is Sam Laporta coming off of a back issue. And, we looked at him from a rookie year to now with Jameson Williams having a full breakout. It is tough to really project Sam Laporta as a top, 8. I like to say top 8 because, it is like a line. There is
like a line for sure.
A straight line after top 8. Everybody is just whatever. You're talking about
cliff.
After 8, it's like Chigo Conquo or something.
Yeah,
like I don't know
Henry.
what.
Yeah,
it is.
Hunter Henry.
It is probably Hunter Henry. Yeah, it is probably him.
Yeah,
that's where like Greg Dulcich might slide in.
Yeah, right.
Well,
so that team, the Ravens D, the Ravens D there, the Ravens have one of the easiest schedules through the first 10 games of the season. So to take the Ravens D there, and that's one of the reasons I love Derrick Henry this year as well. If you can get Derrick Henry, I mean, he usually starts. Last year he started slow. If he starts slow, and last year he went off on the Packers in week 17 or something like that, the championship
week. Hell yeah.
He was there when you needed him last year in the playoffs. But so with Henry, if he can start slow against bad teams, I think he'll produce pretty well for you. And in the second half of the season, he's still got some pretty mediocre teams, and obviously it'll get harder once you get to the playoffs and cold weather starts hitting, and they'll be running the ball more. But that's when Henry turns it on. So No, I think he's obviously going middle end of the second round. I think Henry's a good option there.
End of the second, into the third usually. Now he went at
Yeah.
the 202 in our draft, but that's
Sure.
everybody knows in this one that I want him. So
Yeah.
made sure they took him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't go wrong grabbing Henry anywhere in the second, honestly, because like if we're matching him up against Devon Achane, right? Well, Dolphins,
good players on good teams.
Offense, like if you want to just bet on the better offense, Henry is the better bet. Achane's definitely going to catch more passes.
Sure.
But I could see them both scoring pretty similar points in the end.
Yeah. Last year, Derrick Henry had 1,500 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns?
Yeah. Almost 1,600. It was 1,595, I think.
Yeah. If Achane has 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns, we're through the roof. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know when, like, the way that Derrick Henry goes out is going to either be the most dramatic thing that we've ever seen or the least anticlimactic thing. Like, he could either get hurt and never play football again, or just play another 10 years and then just say I'm bored and like walk away. I don't know how it's going to go. Like, it's like he could do anything.
Like you guys are Mike, you remember Barry Sanders, right? Who just kind of
I mean, I don't necessarily
kind
like
of demeanor Henry has. Like he isn't about his ego or anything. He wants to win.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. I mean, Barry Sanders was like 27 years old when he did that.
No, he was
Barry
30.
Sanders,
he was 30.
Was he? I don't think so.
He retired at 30, wasn't it?
Yes, it was
30.
Yeah.
All right, so he retired at 30.
He
was still early. Like he still had a lot left in the tank.
I think that he still had a lot to give.
He did. Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like Todd Gurley, who was like 27, 26,
right,
and just like lost his ability to walk.
Henry is older than Todd Gurley.
Yeah. I mean, Henry. Nobody would fault Henry for retiring next year. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, you know, he's what? Is he 35, 34?
I think he's 32. He might be 33.
He'll be 33 in December.
I think Sleeper says he's 32.8.
I just want to add 3 years to everybody's age, boys, or take 3 years off. I don't care. I'm not close. I'm not close right now. You know,
take it from one and give it to another.
Yeah, I'm like, Barry Sanders, 24 when he retired, right?
18.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Barry Sanders, I feel like could have set every record he wanted to set if he played for 2 more years. You know, that was kind of that. That's why I say he retired early, and it was tough to watch.
Yeah.
Even as a kid watching him, you know, it was like I loved watching Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. Like those were the running backs that, my God, like watching Emmitt Smith on a Sunday when like it was Troy Aikman throwing the ball, and that team was electric, dude. And I think that's what kids are gonna say when they grow up and they've been like watching Bijan and Gibbs. Yeah. Those are the level of players now that we're talking about that are changing the game. And I love that we have these backs that are probably going to be Hall of Famers that we're watching in real time, and you don't realize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you kind of wake up and say, these guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. And you're watching someone like Bijan run for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns or something. You're like,
or the Gibbs game last year against the Giants. Yeah.
What? Yeah. What was that? He like,
it was he put up 55 fantasy points. I think it was over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns or something like that.
Touchdowns, like 2 receiving or something, or 1 receiving and 2 running. Yeah. He was,
walk-off homer walk-off touchdown in the first, like I think it was like the first drive of overtime.
It's like Kamara's Christmas game.
Yeah.
Christmas game was like 5 touchdowns, right? Something like that. Yeah. Insane.
Special days.
All right. Jake here wants a top breakout season candidate for every position. All right. I don't know if we got enough time for every position.
I think we've done podcasts about this. Honestly, I think we've done full-length podcasts about this topic.
Yes. Why don't you give me one, Josh? You give me one breakout candidate from
guy
like
we haven't seen it from
the middle rounds somewhere, like rounds 5 through 10.
Yeah, let me pull up
Dynasty.
let me pull up my team and see who I like.
I mean, while you look, I can,
Sure.
Josh Downs. Josh Downs is somebody that I think everyone is kind of out on, in the sense that they think Keenan Allen's going to come in and really just like work in and out and get all the usage. I think Josh Downs is finally going to see. He's only had like a 50% snap share, maybe even less than that. I don't think that he's seen over 60% usage ever in his career. I think that we're finally going to see that. I think that the outside metrics that you look at, you see somebody that can be a full-time wide receiver 1 on a team. I think with the fact that we're looking at the guy that got paid the most money in the offseason, not healthy, on the pup, not going to see the first 4 games, going to give absolutely all the time in the world to get some rapport with Daniel Jones, to build up that wide receiver 1 role before he comes back. And who knows what it's going to look like after that. But I think it's the Josh Downs and Tyler Warren show. And I think Keenan Allen's going to get some lunch money. I think Keenan Allen's going to be a 500-yard receiver. There's enough to go around for him to still get his whatever. I don't think that Keenan Allen's going to come in and be an alpha anymore. I think that there's no way. He's a presence. He's somebody that's going to teach Josh Downs. He'll be able to just kind of mold him a little bit, I think, into a better guy. But I'm all in on Josh Downs at where he's going. ADP of, the 11th round still, eighth. So the 8th round to 11th round, he's still available anywhere in that range, all over the place in drafts right now. But he's still a big time value.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a team thing. So I think the Carolina Panthers are going to shock a lot of people this year. When you look at the way they ended last season and you look at the way that they played against the Rams in the playoffs, their new offensive coordinator came in and said, Brad Idzig is his name. He came in and they were making a point this year to improve Bryce Young's completion percentage. And I think what that's going to lead to is better games by Tet, and I think it's going to lead to better games from Jalen Coker. So Jalen Coker is the guy I would say, if you can get this guy to rounds 10 through 13, somewhere in there, Coker's going to be a guy, I think, where last year he started the breakout, and this year I think you're going to see the rest of it. Last year, I think it was week 19 last year when it didn't count. First week of the playoffs. 134 receiving yards, 28.4 fantasy points. Week 18, 16.7. Week 15, 14 fantasy points. So I think if you're looking for a guy late, a sleeper who you're like, okay, this guy, I want to be able to put somebody in my lineup and feel confident about it in his first year breaking out, I think Jalen Coker's a guy who I'm putting some trust in this year. I'm trying to get him in as many leagues as I can because I think this is his year. I think the Panthers are going to take that step this year.
All right. Well, I'm going to say mine. It's real quick. I mean, I've talked about a bunch of different players, but one guy I haven't talked a ton about, but I like now going into redraft especially, is Jonah Coleman. All right. Broncos have the top offensive line in the league. You've got an oft-injured J.K. Dobbins and then an R.J. Harvey that just looks like he's plodding around. And you saw the extreme inefficiency last year, even with the super high touchdown totals. I just think this is the road is paved for a late season Jonah Coleman type breakout. And you
don't trust that J.K. Dobbins is going to be healthy
in your redrafts. What's that?
You don't trust J.K. Dobbins to stay healthy?
It's not a matter of if, it's just when. That's all we know with J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else you guys want to add quick before we get out of here?
No, send us off, man. Let's do it, baby.
All right. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe. This is on the Dynatyze Fantasy Football channel. We're looking to get our subscribers up to what we want 1,000 before the season starts, right, Mike? So
ideally we get to 1,000. We are at almost 500 right now. We want to keep cooking. If you're watching us on Twitter, over on Dynatyze, or through me or through Chris or whoever, whatever you're watching it through when you're not on YouTube, go on over to Dynatyze on YouTube. So Dynatyze FF, and like and subscribe, and definitely, follow us over there, because I have a video coming out with my boy Joe on Wednesday, I believe, or maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure when I'm loading this up. Chris and I are doing a Dynasty Theory pod with Zane. So we're talking some analytics and having some fun with that.
It should be awesome.
We have a bunch of pods. We have a bunch of stuff, a lot of guests lined up. So if you guys aren't subscribed over there, go over there, hit like, hit subscribe, and definitely just look out for all the content we have coming up.
Absolutely. Josh, you want to hit us quick with where they can find you as well?
Yeah, find me on Dynatyze. I posted probably a dozen articles over there now. Find me on X, on Twitter. I'll change my name here to @_fantasy or elite_fantasy. So yeah, give me a follow there. I think I'm approaching 300 followers on there, and we started back in June. So if we can get there by start of the season, get to 300, 500, something like that, we'll take it. So
hell yeah, go follow my boy, man. Obviously doing a lot of content. He's over on Dynatyze. So if you guys aren't over there, definitely check out all of his articles. Josh, I appreciate you so much joining us tonight, man. Absolute pleasure. You're welcome on whenever, dude. Whenever you want to come on, man, just say the word. So
we'll do.
Chris, what do you got going on besides what we have coming up? Anything with
we've got our training camp battles videos we've been hitting up this whole month of August. We'll continue it on Thursday morning. It will come out. We're going to have some trades though for you. I'm having the OG fantasy football Steve on the Birdhouse with me to hit up that episode this week on Thursday night Dynasty DJs with Zane, which I'm totally looking forward to. So
yeah, should be a good show.
With that said, I want to remind you, thank you for tuning in, and remember to never stop working.